Get it.
Hello, Internet.
We are setting up for doing something a little bit later today. I am trying to find the live feed, wherever that might be. There we are.
I'm trying to find you on the TV.
All right. Well, I found it finally on my phone.
All right. So really,
Good afternoon. How are you, Joshua?
hey, how's it going? We've been just working on the shop too. We've had just doing a few little things. We got some of the stuff out. Got the pews apart. Cleaned up the paint racks for staining the stair treads and stuff as we need to. I got my backdrop for my desk for my at-home studio. And then got all the stuff we ripped down yesterday for the doors and face frames. And yeah, we've cleaned up a little bit, organized a lot. Everybody.
You had a service call this morning.
Yeah, I had to finish that up. That is pretty good.
So that's the Festool. It's for drywall.
Check that
primarily. But he uses it to sand plywood.
Yeah, we use it to sand ply, like sheets of it. It's super easy. I'll be probably doing a little video this week on. I'm going to help out a buddy, and we're going to sand down his kitchen. So I'll put that up here too. Maybe I'll try to go live doing it, or I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, there's a video of him. I believe it's a short. He was asking if it
I'll come.
pivots, like the head pivots.
Yeah, so
Like
I'll show you that a little bit. They make cheaper ones. I mean, we like Festool, but I mean, you can get all up in there. It's for the ceiling, and it has like almost like an air hockey effect. It helps the thing glide, but it also sucks it down too. So it has like almost like a gyro. That's pretty cool. It goes about 90 degrees this way.
I ordered that one on Amazon.
Yeah.
Didn't I?
Yeah, we were going to go to the store, and it was just easier to order on Amazon. Yeah, there's a selector switch for the wall or the ceiling there. I think the ceiling puts more suction, and it holds up a little bit higher. But this thing just glides across.
There'll actually probably be a video of you this week.
Yeah, we got to do a lot of ply.
Well, also no, like for Nat's walls.
Yep.
So one of our guys in the shop, he said hello the other day. He's with us part-time every once in a while. He's been working on his house. He's actually going to borrow it. Mike's going to go over there for a couple hours and help him basically knock that out within an hour or so versus him doing that all day long.
And it breaks down in 3 pieces. So if you want to, you can even put it like this, with shorter. But for doing ply, if you're doing a whole sheet of plywood, it's really great because you can lock the power button on. It's variable speed. But yeah, you can go across a full sheet of plywood. And again, that's the 9.5-inch sanding paper. So it's great. And it goes up to 320, I believe. They come in boxes like this. Oh, come here. There you go. Comes in boxes like that. I'll put this over here. But yeah, a lot of people don't talk about it. They think it's just for drywall, and it's not. I mean, it is. If you're doing a lot of sheet goods, this is phenomenal. You will speed up your day probably by half if you're doing a lot of them. Super easy. You cover a lot more space with it. It's a lot smoother. I mean, you can even do it on like big tables.
He said that's nice. He needs to get some new toys. The thing about that type of machine is when we get one of those in, everybody in the shop wants to try it. So it's one of those fun toys. They're like, oh, let me do it.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't always love to sand, but that's kind of fun because if it's like a new toy to everybody, it's kind of like, oh, I'll do it.
Yeah, everybody loves doing it now. I think I remember how this thing puts together.
If we did more on the sanding and stuff like that, we would get maybe one of those, what are they, the exoskeleton fistal things? But those things are what, $3,000-$4,000? I don't know about that just yet.
Oh, the exoskeleton?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're doing that, I mean, you put a battery in the back almost like a robot, but it gives your arms a lot more, even if you're not using one of these and you're using your arms above your head. We thought about doing it because sometimes when we're lifting cabinets up and holding them in place while we screw them in, we have cabinet jacks, but it might be, there was a guy, he was about an hour and a half away. I think he still has it on Marketplace. I almost wanted to drive over there he wanted like $3,500 for it, which is actually a good deal because it's like $4,500.
Yeah, with tax it is, I think.
But it was pretty expensive. It was like 20 to 30% cheaper than if you would have bought it new at the store. Plus, you have to pay tax. But I wanted to go over there just to see it. And it just all fits in a nice little substainer. Yeah, we like this tool a lot. We don't get to use it every day, but we're using it more and more on plywood because it's just easier. And again, it doesn't hurt your hand. If you're holding a tool kind of broad-handed like this, instead of using a hand directly mounted, and that thing has a stabilizer, so your hands aren't shaking. You don't go home and have to try to open your door like, oh, God, I got to open the door. I got to try to drive home. You sand. That's why I tell people, try it first. Sand for 12 hours, you can't really use your hands anymore.
It's like even trying to button your own shirt. You can't do it.
Yeah, you're literally going like this. You're putting your hands together because your fingers don't work. And I know because I've been there and I've done that.
What's everybody up to this afternoon or this evening? You're sending me to Rockler tomorrow.
Yeah, I need to find a bit. We need a bit for the a couple things. So Rockler has probably the best. I think they have their own line of bits, and they have all your Freds or whatever ones. So that really does lend a lot. I need one outer perimeter for a door. I don't think I have it in here. I think it's somewhere else. I don't know where that door is.
The gray door?
The little one.
Is that my car?
I don't know where it is. You might have put it in your car. Or it was there.
See what happens when you organize
People, we've lost a door. We'll find it.
See what happens when you rearrange
anyway,
everything.
This is going to be we just sanded this down to 220. And I'll
He was asking what kind of table saw is that.
Ooh, okay. I'll move it over. So this is...
In the meantime, I'll look for the door.
Okay. This is an Oliver 5-horse, 12-inch, 52 cut table saw with a saw stop slider. And this thing is awesome. I mean, I just cut a bunch of 4x8 sheets of plywood up. So you can rip it, cross cut it, put it to your stopper on the side there. That is phenomenal. I recommend that to anybody. They make a small one, but I needed it for this size. I couldn't fit a long slider in here. and I didn't want to go with the baby sliders because they don't have enough capacity for cutting 4x8 sheets of plywood up. So, and that's where I keep a lot of sandpaper and the little squeeze clamps and buckets. But I'm working on I'm gonna build a cabinet under here, and that's a drawer for it. For some of my stuff I keep over here for my table saw. If you can see that little thing in the plastic right there, that's the extended leaf. I think this is the 4045 Oliver. I'm going to put a leaf on here. I ordered it that way. And then I have another sheet of solid surface back there that'll match this, that I can extend the table. See, it doesn't have anything over here. This is where that cheap particle board stuff stops. So what I'm going to do is, you see where my other one is? It's way out here. I'm going to make the other one come out. That way, the actual fence, which I'm not extremely happy with, could have a better fence. I might have to upgrade my fence to a Super Cool Tools fence here. We have one on the Powermatic 66 in Florida, and we love it. But yeah, I'm gonna make my table a little bit longer. That way, my fence is fully supported going across. So it'll look really cool. It's all in that blue. When I made the table, I ran. It has a sheet of salt, like a gray sheet of solid surface underneath it, and then I just glued pieces together and made my dado tracks to when I'm running stuff. Not dado, but the dovetail slides. That way you can put a cross cut, or you can put an integral on there and fully go out and into your grooves. I'm trying to stop using my outfeed table as a table, so that way I can utilize the oh, here it is. Utilize the workbenches we have. But yeah, so I'm sending her out tomorrow to Rockler to get. I have this bit here, but I need this bit. I need to be able to make that particular. That's a V groove on the inside bead. I don't have that bit. I believe we have one in the other shop, but I got to make that. And then I got that profile there is, see, it's elongated. It's that one right there. So I can cut that in and interlock that piece into it. So just got to make the doors.
Two. We have two shops.
Yep.
One in the Carolinas and one in Florida.
Hey, I mean, any shop is a shop. I love hanging out in shops. I don't care if it's a buddy's 12x12 shed or whatever. You know, that's the shop. Kind of, and this we're actually adding a finishing area too on the side over there. So then we kind of go around, and that's the bathroom over there and stuff.
Do you want me to put this back in one of the work trucks? This was on the front seat. Or do you want me to leave it in here?
Yeah, because I'm not going. You're going.
I'm taking this with me.
Let her leave it here.
I'll just take it with me.
We don't really mass produce. We mostly, we'll install cabinetry, kind of like, and you're just on the tripod, so I'm wheeling you around. You can leave that here. We don't really need it.
I'm just going to leave it on my chair then.
So kind of like cabinet lines like this. We have a bunch of samples. So just regular base cabinets and upper cabinets and stuff like that. That's just all going to go away. That's all storage stuff and drawers and everything like that. But we do stairs. So we do staircases, Murphy doors, Murphy beds, full kitchens from what we call RTAs, ready to assemble, or assembled and dropped off. And then we do like butcher block tops and Corian tops, which is like back over here for countertops. Yeah, there's a big sheet of it.
That's the sheet size they come in.
Yeah, they come in 12 foot by 30 inches. We do that. These are floating shelf carcasses. That way we can put a piece on the front, like a face frame on the front, put a 1/2 inch piece of ply on the top and a 1/4 inch piece on the bottom. And then we build like built-ins. This is what all this is. This is going to be doors and face frames. All this soft maple. So we produce custom-made products as well, of almost anything. Anything that you want us to build, we'll build, basically. Like this is going to be, so I made a mistake. I made something too cool and too good. They paid us they had a piece of furniture in their house that looked kind of like this. And we built, it's in the shorts. It's like some bookcases with some angled things. And I had these old treads left over. They were pre-finished maple. And they have that gray look, that almost like that weathered gray. And she liked it so much that she wanted to make her a top, which I got to do that this week too. I'll probably be doing that tomorrow or Saturday. I got to make this top that flips open. So this is a seating area on a reading nook window seat that I got to make a top for out of pre-stained, pre-finished stuff. So yeah, we do almost a little of everything, but we do furniture. We do small furniture, dry bars, desks, kind of you name it, we do it. Any kind of furniture. The biggest thing is, will you pay me to build you a really cool piece of furniture? And a lot of times people do. So it just depends on what we can do, what comes in. We do stuff all the time. We do different stuff. Right now, over here, these are church pews that we had to pull apart, and I have to make a new setup to almost like a two-step walk up. And there's a short on that too. When I was out there measuring, I kind of drew it up, but I kind of gave you an idea of what the church looked like. But I got to make 2 pieces similar to this to kind of match this. And then we did a stain match. Let's see if I can get it for you. We usually drop this off at places and let them play with it instead of us trying to match the stain. So there you go. They did a pretty good job right there at the end. But they played around with it for like 2 days, and they came up with that. So super close, super good. They're both maple. This is about 30 years old. So check that out. Really good color match. So I was going to try to build them out of what they have here, but the problem is the way they built them. It's going to be super hard to achieve what they want. So I'm going to have to. I can use some of the materials, but I'm going to mostly just redo it out of maple and restain them. So it'd be kind of cool. That's kind of like we do things that people don't usually or can't find somebody to do.
When they say no, they call us. Usually is what happens.
Usually, yeah. And I don't usually say no. But yeah, so we do that. Like earlier, we did a service call on an RV. We had to alter some cabinets for somebody. He couldn't find anybody. He got our number from somebody local, and he's about an hour north. And we altered the doors. We cut down them. We put some oak veneer banding on them and made a frame for them and put new hinges on them and made them all. I have a quick short I got to upload later. I just didn't have time today. And then he even liked it so much he took me to lunch. So we must be doing something right when people are
what
buying
kind of
me
stuff
lunch.
have you built for your wife in the past?
What was that?
He was saying that Weber's was saying they do smalls and they love doing custom orders. And then they were saying that the only stuff he does is like for his wife, like 2 minute tips.
Hey, that's nothing bad. I as I
Okay.
get probably older, and if and when I retire, then I'll probably switch more towards small, something I can ship out. I'll probably do one-off, like nightstands and tables and stuff like that, coffee tables and stuff, and keep it kind of small, little end cabinets. And I might do some custom orders. We
You
do
used to
beds.
do
We do a lot. We do some beds too that we like, and then again we do Murphy beds. So um, we like doing furniture.
the smalls that you were doing were more like the gun grips.
Yeah, so we would do
the-
knife grips, gun grips. I think I have a
We
pair.
used to go to trade shows and do some of those.
Yeah, I used to do
But those are exhausting.
because I liked it. Yeah, in the spare time when I wasn't having a full-time job and then a part-time hobby and then another full-time part-time job, we do stuff like this. Make cool grips. You can see the texturing on them. Those are real Python. And these are like, shoot, these are probably 15 years old. And
might even be older
they
than
were
that.
they were carried for a number of years, so you can tell how they held up pretty good. But we do knife grips. Oop, and they fall on the ground sometimes. We do custom stuff all the time.
We've done a lot. So what's interesting is like it comes in trends what people want for their houses, or they want us to build. This year has been huge that they have us do custom pull-out drawers, spice racks. I would say we've done probably 50% more this year on customization of kitchens. Like a lot of people are keeping their kitchen and then they're just wanting to either add more cabinetry or make it a better use of the current space. So we're getting a lot more of those. Bookshelves, built-ins, we're getting a lot of those. Custom couches, do you do your upholstery? What's the furthest we will go for a customer? What's the furthest you'll go for a customer?
I can't hear you.
If the job pays well enough, he'll pretty much go anywhere.
What was that?
He was saying, what's the furthest you go for a customer?
Anywhere.
In our general market, in the Florida shop and here, from the shop, an hour and a half would be our standard longest distance for regular customers.
Yeah. Larger kitchens and custom builds that are in the tens of thousands of dollars. It's kind of the sky's the limit. I mean, we tell, because again, we'll take a vacation. If somebody wants us to go up to Maine and put a kitchen in, we'll just take a small vacation, rent an Airbnb, go up there and put something in, or deliver like a $20,000 desk or something like that. We build, we make a trip out of it. Take the dogs, all load in the vehicle and take off. It just depends on what's going on at that point. But we service Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, parts of Virginia, Tennessee, and Kentucky. Now those are our extended ranges, but we can get from one shop or the other. We can get there within like 4 or 5 hours. Those aren't ideals, but those are either deliveries. So if you left out of one shop and drove 4 hours to deliver something, you drop it off, you spend an hour on site and you drive back. That's a 7 to 9 hour day. It's doable. But if you're going to install a kitchen or something like that, or something huge, big entertainment center,
that's when we limit it to about an hour and a half. We've had customers that they
only
will
want
wait
us.
for us, that will wait for us to come back. Like for example, in the Florida location, they're waiting for us to come back to Florida in the later part of the winter, and we'll install their stuff then. We'll build it. Sometimes we build it here and bring it back there, or vice versa. The other thing too is wood species are more common here that we can bring down to Florida, like walnut and stuff, ash. And then, there's some wood like the cedar and cypress that's easier to get down there, and we'll bring it up here. So it's more rare.
Yep. So pretty cool stuff overall.
The one thing we don't have a lot of connections with is a lot of people ask us to do upholstery. We don't have anyone that we know of currently that does that. We used to in Florida, but we don't. We do know a leather maker, but that's not that kind of style of stuff. Just talking about upholstery. We don't really have anybody we know that does upholstery.
Yeah, can't do everything. I mean, there's times or whatever we'll do. Turning stuff. We got to get another lathe for this shop, but we don't do a whole lot of real like carvings or things. Now, when we get spare time, we'll do, like I said, some cool knife blanks. We do custom knives all the time. I'll grab the knife out that we're gonna be doing the whole. Let's put you right there. Let's put you right there. So I keep it over here. Oh gosh. Everything's got to have wheels, man. So I guess when we're talking about doing one-offs or doing small stuff, we'll do stuff like this. This is Bacote stainless steel pins, Alabama Damascus raindrop Damascus. I designed this. Jordan from Night Owl, Forge and Fire winner, kind of produced it. So this is actually allotted to be the 10,000 subscriber giveaway. I'll probably be holding on to it for a long, long time. But for some reason, if things change, this is going to go out to somebody. And kind of like they made a quick short about it, but when I'm screwing around with a idea, kind of like this was a piece of wood like this. And that's the best way to make something, is to kind of play with it just with some 1/4 inch stock. You can see how ergonomic it is. You can see how your hand lays. You can see just what the geometry is going to be without having to make it out of steel first. Every time I'm thinking about making a knife, I will make it first out of wood and play with it. The concept of it, if I'm making it for somebody, I will actually ship this to them, a finished product. I'll sharpen it a little bit. I'll make maybe I'll do an outline just in case I want to recut it out of something. But I'll give them something to play with and say, is this what you want, before I make it out of steel? And they go, well, I wanted it, that big, or I wanted it a different way. But you can really choke up on this. This is a very big blade. I think I don't even know how big this thing is. I know it's pretty big though. So the blade itself is about if you really count the blade, it's 6.5. But if you go all the way down, it's 7.25. And then the whole knife is about 12 inches. Now, when this does win, and this is promoted, this will be called a kitchen knife, just because there's people and places we can't send these to. So obviously, winning age will have to be above 18.
You think?
Maybe 21. I don't know. We'll have to check some laws.
Well, we're not shipping it to a 10-year-old.
Yeah, I'm not shipping this to a 10-year-old. This is a very sharp item. But we'll do a little bit more research. But this will be classified as a kitchen knife, just like you can order a shin knife or something like that. So that's what this will be. And I have stuff in the works. Like I said, this one's gonna be something. And then a little bit of this is one of the ones that I really think I've showed this on any shorts or anything like that. You guys got the exclusive. This will be something we make probably this year, maybe towards the end of the year. really choke up. Even if you wanted to, you can put your hand in the grip. I like the old cane knives. You can grab something and pull it on the hook. Um, but you still got, I mean, look how much that would be if you, I mean, that's almost as thick as that right there. So you got plenty of meat there that will never go bad. Plus it would, and then also if you wanted to make a smaller knife, you can make it out of that dimension. That's what I kind of played with what, but.
So now that's a knife, like in a Crocodile Dundee voice.
Oh yeah, that's a Crocodile Dundee, Dave. That's a big sucker. You can bring it back in here as you're swinging like a baseball bat, or it's got some good ergonomics there. I make knives for just like the hammer. I make a knife that way you can use it all day and not get tired. I can't stand hot spots on something. I can't stand. No, my professional knife maker, I'm not a forger, but I can cut the steel. I can do the sharpening. I don't always do every part of it in house right here. I used to do a lot more, but I don't do that as much.
The grip part is very much like the one of the knives.
Yeah, so kind of like a knife handle. If I'm doing a handle, just like this is the 500 giveaway. If you haven't entered to win this, enter to win. There's a short recently published. All you got to do is make a comment, be subscribed, and
make sure you're public.
But yeah, this is again ergonomic. You ain't gonna get tired beating on anything with that hammer. You can choke up. It's got choke up points. You can get your hand up in there. You can turn around and use it the other way. It's not even bad really if you have to use it going that way. So it's multi-functional, multi-directional. You can't really, I mean, you could do it sideways, I guess, if you wanted to tap something in, but you're not really looking for a choke up. There's a Wingay and Paduke pins. They're kind of off. One way's one way the other way. Just kind of cool. We just burned the name in, so pretty cool. You can enter to win that. The drawing is sometime this weekend.
It closes out on Saturday at midnight Eastern time, and then we'll kind of get prepared to do the drawing after that. We haven't determined the exact time, but it'll be sometime Sunday or late or early next week.
Yeah, and that's just an appreciation thing. I mean, for subscribing and everything like that. As the channel grows, I mean, we have only been doing this since February of this year, and we appreciate everybody that's been contributing to us, stuff like that. But I mean, eventually we'll be giving away like stiletto hammers. This is my shop hammer, and I would love to get sponsored by some people, and if they send us anything that we can keep, as long as it's not Festool, I'll be re-gifting.
They were saying building a mallet isn't something they've done yet.
Do what?
They were talking about. Weber's was saying that building a mallet isn't something I've gotten to yet. You just decided you're going to do that one day, and then I came in and you had finished it pretty much after a few days. It took me, I glued it together and stuff like that. I actually broke one on my live trying to break apart this pew. It was walnut. It was only butcher block walnut. So I just kind of made it out of scrap material. And I'll show you. That was just layers of block.
It was just kind of, so this is butcher block walnut. And it wasn't the best laminated together. I think I was on a glue line, kind of like how that is. See how that's laminated right there? I don't know where these are from and who produces them, but it came apart on their line. I don't know where my
That's probably what your third one you've made, third or fourth.
Yeah, I don't make a whole lot of them. I mean, let me find my other hammers. Oh, right here. I'm walking over. So, I mean, I've had this one for 4 years now. This is just, it's all hickory, but this is my work hammer. I made myself this out of hickory from a job, and it's all just glued together, no pins. And I beat this all the time, and I use it for a hitting block too, that I'll hit. Let me show you. that we have an example. But I'll put this up against something and I'll kind of tap on it and get something close. Instead of swinging this hard and hitting something, I'll put this right up against it and hit the hammer. That's a little tip and trick. That way you're not scoring anything, and your bluntness, you're holding this against something, and then the blunt of force is transferred through it. So it's actually pretty good. And it has a nice ring to it. But yeah, we do that all the time. And I haven't really needed one since then because I either use that, a little wood mallet I have in the truck that was one of my dad's leather tools, or my Teflon one my dad made years and years ago, just a regular hammer handle and a block of Teflon. This is actually from a Disney ride. He worked at Disney for many years, but this was on one of the Disney rides. It was one of the bumpers for
Is the restaurant that you're talking about, you're going to be building the meat mallets for, is that like a private, like family owned one, or is it like a chain?
I don't know. What's going on? Did I miss something?
He's saying he's making meat mallets to build to sell
Nice.
for the restaurant. I was just asking if it's, a franchise place or if it's, mom and pop shop or both kind of thing.
Yeah, that's really cool.
That would be something you might be interested in doing, like for smalls, but
I like cooking. I like making mallets. I think it's fun. Again, I make my stuff really ergonomic. Not my hammers. I don't spend time on my hammers at all. But let me move my Festool track out of the way. But I'm gonna be getting more organized here. I gotta get this shop kind of squared away. This is another knife. This was an old kind of Bowie knife. It got too thin here when it was being sharpened, and the handles broke off on it. But I just keep it. It's Damascus, but it's. I mean, you might be able to make a smaller knife out of it, but it's not going to be anything decent. This is just my wall of weird. This is my dad's old drywall and my dad's framing rigging axe. And then this was one of my older hammers. I loved it. It's very ergonomic, but it's probably the only E-swing that I'll S-wing, E-swing, tomato. But this is probably the only one I'll keep. I got a bunch of them I'm probably going to get rid of. Just because I don't use them
because you become
anymore.
Obsessed with titanium hammers now.
Because that way I like titanium hammers now. We have the wood ones, the stilettos, and this is my Iron Man Martinez hammer. And I have a Martinez in the van I picked up used. But I just keep this on the wall. I use it a little bit, but it's mostly just for me.
It's like my precious too.
Yeah, it's like a nice pocket knife or something.
So you're seeing a privately owned and a higher end to-do city near.
Nice.
That's really great.
Yeah.
That would probably be something you'd be more interested in building. Well, we have done furniture for some friends that own restaurants. That was in Florida.
We've done some, even here, even in the Carolinas. What was that, Funky Chicken? Or we've done a few cabinet builds for Viva Chicken.
In the Charlotte area.
Yeah, this is a Norland. I'm sorry. Really nice. This is like not a tomahawk, but I think it might be called a tomahawk. Super nice axe. Really lightweight. Great. I just keep it on the wall now. But I'll redo that one. I want to polish the head on it.
If we ever get brave enough to take the building to reorganize the whole thing, we talked about painting the walls, but you got to be motivated to do that.
Yeah. We haven't really figured out. We're going to probably spray foam down and do some wood framing in there. That way we can run stuff behind it and then mount stuff more to it. But probably before that, we're just going to take some down, some of the stuff, and we're going to mount some cabinets to the wall because I got to get some of the stuff
off the floor,
off the clutter. Yeah, I got to get it out of my way. It drives me nuts. And also too, we have these. This is a humongous one. This is it's like a 20 ounce or. This is the 18. I think I got a bigger. I got like a 21. These are okay. These are good for tapping chisels and stuff. I don't use them that often. I kind of gave them a try. I don't like them as much as I thought I would. So those are there, and then I keep some of my measuring stuff. I don't have a lot of woodpecker. That's Milwaukee. That's an Amazon one, and then that's a woodpecker actually up there, the little long one. It's just a slide ruler. Um, Empire's the Milwaukee once again, and then that's a Blue Ripper saw for granite. It's a guide for doing granite work and radiuses, and then that's a sink saver. So if you're putting on a countertop or granite, it snaps to it or it crimps down. That way it supports like sink openings and stuff like that. We do granite work and stone work sometimes. We like butcher block and solid surface a lot better, which is like a kind of a plasticky material. We do a lot of commercial work with it. Oh, this is so Heidi. She's been in the shop a few times on the live streams. She helps out when she can here and there. But she made a stool out of
Barrel.
whiskey barrels. Has dust on it from the shop. But check that sucker out. Kind of rustic. It's got the vert from the inside of the barrel. And then she shaved it up and she charred it a little bit. Super cool. I dig it, man. It's she's Serendipity Woodworking.
She does wood turning.
Yeah, she does turning. She does bowls. She does
Doesn't she have like forks and
charcuterie stuff, silver or like utensils, all kinds of stuff like that. But it's mostly she does like the craft fairs all through the Carolinas when she can. She does for like cedar boxes for stuff. But she's just now starting to get into a little bit bigger furniture and things like this. But super cool. I mean, and we have a couple other makers that we do. But I mean, it's nice little stepping stool, sitting stool. It's like I said, it's out of that oak. It's got that nice rustic look, and then she just used screws and some glue to put it all together. That's a heavy little sucker. I like it.
If you're just joining the chat, don't forget to say hello, like, subscribe, and share.
Yeah, definitely. Say hello, say hi, hit the like button if you've been in here or you're in here.
Do you want me to bring my laptop back with me in case you go live later?
Yeah, I might go live later and just kind of talk
like
a little about it. I might take some knives.
Your office?
Some of my shop knives and stuff like that back to the house and kind of do a little bit of knife and talk and review. But yeah, there's all kinds of wood stacked up everywhere. There's wood along the walls. There's walnut. That's a lot of ash down there. And there's plywood and there's some of the clamps over there. But yeah, we're like I said, we're trying to get the shop kind of organized. It takes a while, mostly because the jobs kind of funnel in, and we don't have a whole lot of time. Oops, sorry about that. I kicked the tripod. But yeah, we don't have a whole lot of time to really set up things the way we want to. It's almost done out of necessity or downtime when we can make it. We'll do a few things. But we wanted to go live just for a little while and kind of, hang out with y'all and know it's a
we'll come back
Wednesday
on and probably
afternoon.
We can come back on too after a little bit. You're going to be here for what, another half hour or so? Or are you done?
I'm here for half hour.
Okay.
I might go over a few things. There's some things I got to do. I'll probably talk on live a little bit. I can kind of watch the chat.
Okay.
You leaving now?
I am.
Okay.
Make sure you bring the microphone back.
All right, I will. I'll bring the microphone back and all kinds of fun stuff. Oh, you're gonna tune back in? Okay. Okay. Yeah.
do this.
I'll hang this door back up. All right. See you later. Be careful. Let me put this. I'm putting this door back in a safe location for now. You're gonna do what? Okay. All right. Door is in a safe location. So yeah, I mean, if you're kind of new to the station, we do woodworking projects. We don't really do a whole lot of, like I said, hobby stuff. Every once in a while, we'll do a mallet or we'll do a knife. I'll make something before somebody that I either in an appreciation thing. Sometimes I'll make cutting boards, but I won't make the traditional stuff. You won't really see. And again, this is not your average kind of YouTube site. Um, I do all kinds of weird stuff. You never know what I'm going to do. There's service calls or stuff like this. This is a solid surface I have. It's a sink cutout. Sometimes I'll make a cutting board out of solid surface. You know, it's only 1/2 inch, like a plastic acrylic. But we'll do stuff like this for appreciation thing for people. Sometimes customers, they want something really weird and unusual. We've done little guitars, cutting boards for people before if they, you know, like they're in a band or something. We do stuff like that all the time. So that's sometimes we have a little bit different stuff coming through and projects in the shop. Yeah. All right, you're out. All right, so yeah, that's pretty much what we do. I mean, we were just kind of wrapping up for the day, and I was kind of. We usually put the TV on that way I can see chat. Well, it doesn't really post that much chatting up there, but um, we do some. But we do, like I said, a fair share of just different stuff. We never know what we're going to be doing. I don't even know what we're going to be doing half the time. But we do, you know, some knives, some special builds. Sometimes we'll be doing like maintenance on machinery. Sometimes we'll actually be working and maybe adapting the machinery a little bit. Sometimes we use the machinery in different ways, like just like the Festool. I can't remember the name of it. It's not Capex. I keep thinking Capex, but that's the miter saw. Um, but anyway, the 9-inch sander. Sometimes we'll use the that for sanding down plywood or sanding down big tabletops or something. And that it again, if you look outside the box a little bit and use, like, I don't use just carpentry tools. I use electrical tools for carpentry. I use knives and things like that. Like, I don't like a marking tool. Always have on me. I always have my pocket knife. I like high end pocket knives. So this is a custom knife factory. I can't remember the name of it, but it's a big Persian blade. It's like almost a 10-inch knife. It's got Bowler M390 steel. And again, I always tell people this is a tool. This is, I mean, I scrape with this. I cut with this. I use to open things. This gets used probably 90% of the time when I'm on jobs. I cut carpet with it. I pry baseboard off. I cut caulk lines. I shave stuff and whittle things down. It's got really good edge retention, and it's not a highly corrosive stainless steel. So it keeps its, you know, luster. You just got to clean all the glue off and stuff. But yeah, this is a really nice titanium handle. It's got a like zirconium backspacers, mocha tie inlay, mocha tie pocket clip. These run about $500 to $700. If they're discontinuing a line though, sometimes they'll on some of the websites like NC Blade, Blade HQ, E Knives. There's a million of them. DLC Trading, Arizona Knife Company. If you look up, sometimes the discontinued knives or the ones that they're phasing out, you could, like, this was like an $800 knife, but I saw it for sale because it was like the last couple ones in stock in a few places, and it was like $300. So it just depends on, um, their closeout line and what they're trying to move, versus the style and stuff. Well, I like the big blades. I like big knives. I like all that fun stuff. You'll see that all on the channel. Um, we're not just a carpentry woodworking company. We do all kinds of stuff, kind of real life scenario. We own a company, and we kind of do whatever we want. We keep busy. We um, take jobs in places that take vacations. We go see fairs and go look at wood. Go to cool places to get table bases for something, or industrial salvage, or we go look at wood mills. Um, Kind of, you don't know what we're gonna pop up with next. We don't lead a very boring life. I'll say that. And the jump to get into social media, I never even had social media. Never had Facebook. Never had nothing. So I jumped headfirst into the volcano of YouTube in February, and it's been going pretty good. And then once we opened ourselves up to lives, we met a lot of interesting people and good people, and the smaller woodworking community is actually really nice and fun. Even the guys that have 20, 30,000 subscribers, um, they're not like the big celebrity woodworkers online. And sometimes we'll bash them because sometimes I don't think they do enough for the community, and they don't highlight uh, like up and coming people a lot of times. I can't see that. Let me walk back over to the chat thing and talk to you, or see what y'all saying. Uh, CNC? No, I have no CNC. There would be no CNC. I am going to get a um, probably a 3D printer because I need them for some little small things. I hate computers. I worked on computers. I was an automation and control engineer, and I worked on equipment. I did programming. I absolutely hate it. I despise it. I didn't become a woodworker to basically close out the noise, just to deal with programming. I can't stand it. And then, so I don't think we ever want to become that big. I'd rather just do like kitchens at that point every day, all day, and not do any custom work. I don't like dealing with programmers. I think they are buttheads. If you're a programmer, I'm sorry. Maybe you're not that way, but I've seen a lot of people hold uh, companies hostage, because some programmer hacker mentality where they think they have to, kind of like Jurassic Park, the first one, the original, the OG Jurassic Park. Um, I don't really believe in it. I've had bad experiences out of it. Um, when I've had to rely on them, all they've done is, and I've heard this all the time. Oh, it's a hardware problem. Oh, it's a machinery issue. And then, not knowing that I actually know what I'm doing, I would go research it, and it was always, it's when bad stuff happens, it's always a programming issue. Um, it's awful. We've had an awful experience with it, so I don't really feel the need to insert that into the shop and deal with the headaches. If That's why we got the crosscut for the Oliver saw. I mean, sure, it might take me an extra day to process the material, um, down to make a kitchen, down to cut the plywood up. But as long as you spend a little bit of time in doing your cut sheet, I don't really have a problem with it. It's not you still got to unload and load the machine. You still have tool issues. You have programming issues. You had zero issues. If your vacuum tables, you have vacuum pod issues, failures, you have maintenance, a lot more maintenance. I mean, there's hardly no maintenance on this table saw, other than you got to grease it every now and again and check the electrical connections maybe once a year. And I usually do that in the wintertime during Christmas if we're slow. I usually go through all the machinery. And then I try to do it every half year, quarter year, depending on the machine use. I'll oil and grease it and spray some lubricant in it for maintenance wise. I've got to change the oil in the gearbox of the 20-inch planer. We have a Laguna 20-inch helical head planer, or helical head, whatever you want to call it. It's the multi-teeth planer, and it's phenomenal. There's some videos on it. It sits back over here under the one of the sheets. I'm not using something. I usually cover it up with a white sheet. It's not that I'm hiding it away. It just keeps the dust off. It's like a European kind of solution. It lets it breathe. Still, it doesn't trap the humidity in, but at least it keeps. And the same thing with when we're cutting jobs. Again, we're getting a finishing area on the other side of the building, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. Hopefully next week, but we'll get that to where we start utilizing it, and it'll be so much better. But for now, when we finish spraying a job and we push it out for drying, when it's dry enough, then we usually cover it with sheets, or the drying racks and stuff like that. We cover it with sheets and use the little clamps and clamp it down. Sorry for yawning, but we'll do that a lot of times because we just don't want to get a whole lot of dust on the finished product. And again, I keep walking around to check chat to make sure anybody doesn't have a good question or a question they're curious on hearing, because I am all alone in the shop. All alone. So you got a new bandsaw? Is that what you're saying? Oh, yeah. I don't actually have a bandsaw in the shop. I don't have a joiner in the shop. I sold the joiner, and we were going to get a new one, and I was going to get the Laguna 12-inch helical head joiner, and it fell off the truck. So they screwed around. I was on like a wait list of like 2 weeks, and we just canceled the order. And that was like 4 months ago, and I haven't really did that. But I don't have a bandsaw in my shop down here. We do down in the Florida one. We just have the Laguna 14-inch down there. We had a big Grizzly 3-horse 18-inch cutter, but it was getting old. The wheels needed rewrapped or rebanded. It needed a new head. It wasn't very. It was basically a resaw only kind of saw. It wasn't anything for precision. I'd like to get kind of like a 2 system. I'd love to have a 14 down here for small stuff. I'd like to have a 14 by metal bandsaw. Laguna makes one. I want the capability for cutting out my knife blanks. I want the capability to be able to cut stuff like this out. If I buy pre-done Damascus, or if I buy copper core Damascus, I'll bring these over to the camera a little bit too and show them. These are just ones I was going to put handles on to highlight the handles. These are Alabama Damascus again. This is just their standard line. Alabama Damascus sells to almost anybody, but it's not like that cheap. What's it called? Not Persian. Pakistani. It's not the Pakistani Damascus that you're used to seeing. This is actually good steel. Kershaw, their Damascus was made by Alabama Damascus. But I was just going to put some handles on this, some really nice kind of handles on, and then utilize them for people that what you can and cannot do. So yeah, they're these. But I want something that if I get a sheet of like high quality steel, I can cut these on the bandsaw to my rough shape and then grind down the rest. So I want the 14-inch bandsaw to be a bimetal. That way I can put a wood blade in it or a metal one. And I don't think it's either 1700 or 1900. It's not, if you're looking at a new bandsaw, it's all expensive anymore. I mean, friggin' hamburgers, $30 it feels like when you go out to eat. But it's good to be able to cut these out of something, and I would like to be able to cut them out of with a bandsaw instead of with a grinder. And you could do it, but you get a little bit of rough result. I mean, you can get pretty good, and then you refine it with the sander. I've made stuff like this. Again, my stuff's a little bit more ergonomic. That's not 100% ergonomic to me. I will refine this one a little bit on the handle side before I finish it out. Maybe I might not. I just put a handle on it, and I might even do these as giveaways too. I'll put handles on them, and then I'll just give them away for milestones. Maybe 1,000. Maybe I'll do one of these for 1,000 and one of these for like the 1,500 subscriber giveaway. But this is the kind of stuff I'd rather do. I'd rather give away like cool hammers. And it's not that we have to give them away. I mean, I hope our content, we have over 850 videos and shorts. We do a lot of content just because we pretty much live in content. We're swimming in it. And we like old cars. We like dogs. We like waterfalls. I just posted one of a lake that was right outside the service call I went to go do. Then I'll post a service call up probably before I leave the shop, and maybe a few other, maybe little shorts of stuff of me playing around with it. But I just like cool stuff like this. I like making stuff like this, and I like giving it away. I don't have to be a giveaway channel, but it's to show appreciation and to get y'all engaged. And besides customers, I don't really talk to anybody else, family. But I've actually found I really like, kind of like being part of YouTube. It's actually fun to kind of join in and talk to people, and all the smaller creators that kind of don't have a voice yet, being part of that community, to where it's really cool. Yeah, so it's you don't have to always get the highest, the best tools in the world, but if you can kind of fit it in, it really helps. And we usually do that too. We usually only buy the tool if we can justify it by a job or two, and kind of it pays for itself by saving time. But yeah, that's Alabama Damascus. We'll put a handle on it. This will be one of the probably the giveaways. And the same thing with this, like a dagger letter opener. This will probably, again, if we're giving stuff away like this will be a cheese chopper. This will be a letter opener. This is double bladed, very cool. It's got really pretty Damascus down the center. It's got some choil rips there. You could, I guess, sand those down and sharpen them into a serrated blade if you wanted to, but it's got a nice belly, kind of not a coffin style, but something kind of like that. But these will be ready to go out. By the next kind of giveaway, we'll make something cool happen. Gotta be careful because they are sharp still. They'll cut you. Yeah, we're gonna do stuff like that. Like I said, small tools, small things. If somebody wants to sponsor us, that would be great. That way we can kind kind of go from there and give stuff away. I didn't win this. Holly did years ago in like a Sarasota knife and gun show, but she registered to win. This is a Smooty blade. Smooty doesn't make knives anymore. This was pretty much his last show, and he retired. This is 154 cm. It's just an odd design. Probably you would never pick this for yourself. I'll show it close up a little bit better, but I mean, it is a really good polish. I mean, you can see it. It dances the light off. I mean, it looks like it's almost translucent. And when you can turn it, it'll definitely catch the light. But it's got a really good feel. It's got this nice, almost like I'd call it a cane end, and then it's got a real good shape. It's got these burrow with this black Markita polish on it. It's got a really nice belly, and that's kind of like what I was talking about with my other knife that I'm going to be making shortly, that I made out of wood already. It is somewhere. Heck, I don't even know where that went. There it is. Hang on a second. This is what I was talking about when I said this knife has to have a bigger belly. So if I'm making it, I'm going to actually probably make it a little bit different. I would almost put this blade into here. That way it's like that. Yeah. I would add that much blade girth. If you know what fishing girth is, yeah, that's fishing girth right there. I would add that to it. So I'll show you. I'll walk you over and kind of show you a little bit. But yeah, if I was gonna make this knife, and I probably will make this knife, this is kind of like the way how much I would add to it. I would add that much into the blade, and maybe even bring it out a little bit more, almost like a chopper, like a kitchen knife almost. That's the Smooty. And again, he was a very older knife maker when we met him. There it is. Super nice. Great guy. He had a really cool, almost like he didn't make enough money. He had two positions. This was the third tier. This is the second tier giveaway. He gave a little pocket folder, almost like a friction knife away. And then he had this. And then he had another one that was super nice. I would have loved. It was almost like a Roman broadsword. Had tons of. It was like his, pièce de résistance knife that he made, and it was like, I'd probably say it was a 15-inch little Roman broadsword looking thing out of. It was all like polished and almost like polished, but it had an aged kind of patina look, almost like antique. I don't know if he coated it with any kind of nickel, but it was a double edged, and it had a nice sheath on it. He made the sheaths too, by the way. But yeah, it was awesome. I would have loved to have won that. I would have loved to have bought that. I actually offered to buy it off of them, and they said you can't buy it, but you can win it. And we entered, and she won this one. So, yeah, it was really cool. He was a really cool knife designer. Some of his knives were definitely different than what you normally see, and that's kind of like what I make. I focus more on the ergonomics than anything. I would love to even branch the company as my retirement thing and make knives for a living, or design knives. 9 out of 10 knives I get, and I get a lot of knives. I like knives. It's like hammers or tools. I can always find a flaw. I can always find something that should have been done different, and would have made it a lot better. And I kind of go over that a little bit on the channel. I don't want to give all my secrets and wants and desires away, but I'll talk about that a lot. I'll talk about I would do this different, or I would fix this machine, or I don't like that. I give an honest tool review. I'm not going to share, even if somebody gave me tools, if they were paying me 50 grand or 100 grand or 500 grand a year, I would never never sugarcoat anything. I just don't believe in that. Um, yeah. Then I have a couple micro techs. This is a stitch. I broke the tip on it, so it looks a little bit shorter. I just keep this as a work knife. Um, they're pretty cool. I know you can't really see it that well. It's probably not coming up so great. That's why I'm kind of just talking about it and walking over to the camera. I like this knife. I've done a couple shorts on it. I haven't really talked about it. Um, but anyway, I like talking about the tools, and I like talking about the knives and all that fun stuff. If you're in here and you haven't liked and subscribed, please do. We're trying to get our numbers up. Yeah, that's an awesome knife right there. G10 handles again. This is a Bowler M390. Microtech makes a good knife. Now, again, I broke the tip. You can kind of see it. See how it's funky looking? You see that really? Yeah. See how it's misaligned? It had to be grind down because I broke a good almost quarter off. But yeah, it's a nice knife, but it's got a good ergonomic. So if you're doing like woodworking, or if you want to, whittle a knife, kind of like what my knives are, check out they have a fully auto one. They make $10,000 version of these in super steel with hand carved, all kinds of stuff. I think I have a short with one of them on there that has an American flag and some stuff. But yeah, I mean, just they make them out of better materials. Titanium handles, mocha tie pocket clips, kind of like this one. Um, that's not just paint; that's an actual it's titanium molded together. Then you got carbon fiber on that one, and this one's been look at that. It's like a bad skateboard event. This thing's been used, man. It's a good knife though. I like that one. But again, this one's a lot bigger. You pull this one out, people go running out of the store on you. And I usually, like, if I got to pull it out, I'll kind of like palm it, and I'll do whatever I got to do, like choke it up and hide it in my hand. Well, thanks. So those are not. I like the knives. I didn't think it'd be a knife station, but it's something I really enjoy, and I enjoy making too. And like I said, it's just like the hammers or the small tools. They're really cool to have because they are completely different. You can utilize them for so much. And then if you have a knife, if you get caught out in the wilderness or whatever, you have a lifeline. You have something you can actually use to survive. I mean, even stuff like this. This was I have a video on the Martinez hammers. I mean, it's kind of scathy. You can check it out. It's about our experience with them, but this was a giveaway from them. This is a Martinez 3-inch, or I'm sorry, 4-inch. It's actually 4.5 inch square. I would like the bigger one, the 6 or 8-inch one, or whatever it is, with the built-in level. But this is aluminum. I think it's all aluminum. This was their giveaway at the time, since you bought an assembled hammer. That's super cool. But I mean, again, that's a $70 square. I have the other one. Hang on a second. Let me walk over here. It might be in the truck. I don't know if I have my other square readily available. I don't think I do. I'll just grab this bigger 6. So, and again, I didn't order that. The hammer I could have got behind. I haven't. I have to justify stuff in my mind. And again, I get a little bougie, and I'll order a tool or something. But I have both versions. So this is $70 and $79, and this is like $12. And if you pay $19, you can get the smaller one, like the 3-inch one, which I carry that in the van. But this is a little bit thinner. This has a really cool frame, and it's neat, and it's got some weird kind of geometric kind of funkiness to it. But would I ever recommend somebody that doesn't do this for a living or like tools and just like cool stuff to ever get something like this? Hell no. Go with the old Milwaukee. I have an orange one of these in the van. Cause I like orange, but yeah, and that's a Klein one, and it was like $12 on sale, so I picked it up at Home Depot or something. Um, this is just as good. I mean, it's aluminum. It's just as good. It's just as square as this one is. Um, Now some of the plastic ones and stuff like that aren't in square, but I mean it is as accurate as my eyes can be. So again, I mean, do you need the super bougie high dollar one? Not all the time. You can get by with the aluminum one, and if you mess it up or do whatever, you can buy 7 more of them. So I don't always push. Oh, you have to. Nobody should be telling you should have to get this. Like the Craig Domino, or the Craig mortise maker or tendon maker. Does everybody need that? No, everybody doesn't need that, but it is nice to have. Do I prefer the Domino? Yes, because I've had Craig stuff and they broke. I had a Craig pocket hole machine like this Shop Fox here in the background. You can see with the arm, with the Nike swoosh up here. This is a Shop Fox model W1833 pocket hole machine. It's all metal. I was doing some pocket hole jobs and I needed to do a bunch of pocket holes, and I ordered that Craig $600 pocket hole machine off of Amazon. It got here and I was like, yes, I don't have to do more pocket holes by hand anymore. I used it for about 3 hours and the whole shaft assembly on the router broke apart. It didn't retain the bit. It broke the bit head, and I just sent it back. So am I excited about the new mortise tenon maker that's going to supposedly kill the Festool Domino? No, I'm not. Quality tools will, just like quality knives, just like quality cars, quality TVs, quality anything, houses, clothing, and not name brand doesn't always mean quality. Handmade stuff can be actually better than that, but you're still getting what you paid for in a lot of things. I hope that just like the Domino elevated us up to a whole nother level and being able to compete with some of the bigger guys and bigger shops out there, and made it to where, just like the pocket hole, the joinery of the Domino is easier to justify. I'm hoping that this new Craig tool, or whoever releases it or whoever makes it, if it's DeWalt, if it's Milwaukee, if it's all of them that make one, and just ready to launch after the patent runs out, that's fine. But I'm hoping it gets people into woodworking. And then later on, they can decide if they like it or hate it, or want to use it or want to sell it to somebody else that's getting into woodworking, or if it even doesn't break. Because I've had a lot of Craig jig stuff break. I'm not a huge fan until they sell me on it or start giving me stuff for free. That way I can give it to all y'all. I'm not a huge fan of them, and that's my honest opinion. That's my honest truth. I paid money for their product, even their little jigs, and they break half the time. Their vice grip jig holders and clamps, they break. I don't mind paying $30 or even $50 for something if it's good quality. If it's not good quality, and I'm going to have to run out and get another one because I'm relying on that particular item to do a job that I don't have 2 of them in my shop. Hello, how y'all doing? I haven't been watching chat. I've just been staring at the camera, rambling on and on about tools. But yeah, that's my biggest problem. If I'm out on a job and I'm out in the mountains, or I'm out in the Florida swamp, or I'm out in the Georgia whatever, I don't want something to break on me that I have to run an hour into town because I'm in a remote area to pick up something. And I've had a lot of those failures out of that company, and I'm not that happy with any of it. But again, if I haven't said hello to you, hello, welcome to the channel. If you're new to the channel, like, subscribe. We are a full-time woodworking shop, cabinet shop. We do a lot of custom builds, do a lot of interesting stuff out there. Funny guys. But yeah. So I mean, I'll be giving you my honest opinion of tools, jobs, little tricks and tips, maintenance and repair type things. Always are something we're going to televise. Hey, we're up to 7 likes. I appreciate it, y'all. Hopefully, we're picking up another subscriber or two. Well, now we just dropped in our viewers, but can't all be bangers, right? I'm not a hole of bees in the side of a mountain or a girl working out at the gym. So I know it's just my ugly mug talking and holding up tools and talking about it, but oh well, what do you do? But yeah, so just it's not just my paid for opinion. Again, nobody's paying me to talk to y'all. But I believe that if you're honest about your experiences and your expectations and the real scenario of things, that's what you're going to get. And what you see is kind of what you get. We're not high drama. We're not crazy. A little bit high energy sometimes. I get mad at myself more than others and the situation. And if something happens, you might see something fly across the room or a yell of now and again of just a battle cry because something. It's mostly going to be material items that either fail. Again, when tools fail, man, talk about a red flag pet peeve. That's again, I'm paying for something. It needs to perform up and up to its expectations and the quality and the price tag. And it's not just a one and done. I used it this time and now I got to throw it away and buy another one. I've had a lot of those, and I don't particularly care for them. But sometimes it's your only option because it might be a poor material or a poor build or something like that, but not the ergonomics, but the usability of the item or the setup, how it was designed was fair. It was just poorly executed. And everything's disposable in our day and age. So a lot of your higher end tools are made to last, but I don't think some of your cheaper stuff either needs to be cheaper or it has to have a warranty on it. That way, when it breaks, they give you at least 50% towards a new one or something. Because I've replaced a lot of cheaper tools because they break. So that was a long tangent on quality of tools that annoy me. And there's a lot of stuff out there you'll find if you like and subscribe that annoys me. Sheeple annoy me. I try to be pretty original in the shorts and the videos. I touch upon some of the topics out there, but I don't like to go. I'm not going to be dancing a jig and show. I'll kid around a little bit, but I don't. I want to be more educational and real life and personable and something somebody can watch if they want to learn stuff or just watch somebody work. I know a lot of people like just doing that. If I'm running stuff on the table saw, that gets more views than me just hanging out talking about a tool or something. But we don't really want to uh, make it. It's not entertainment per se, like you are just dancing to music or copying a short that everybody's copying. And I do make fun of those sometimes. You'll see them on my shorts. I cat cut them, and all fair in love and war, YouTube actually promotes you cap cutting something. And if you're a jerk about it and a little bit sarcastic, it seems like it works out pretty good. Luckily for y'all, that's my personality, is sarcastic. So I might as well not talk if I can't be sarcastic. I talk in movie sarcasm, innuendos, and I mentioned sarcasm. Sarcasm's a big one. So you'll kind of see more and more of that as I kind of go. And uh, again, we're really new to the channel. We've only been doing, or to YouTube. We've only been doing this really about 7 months, I think. It goes by quick because we're working. We work a full-time 60-hour a week or better. And that's where we get all our content. Sometimes we'll be working in the shop and doing stuff. I couldn't really get my brain around really doing a whole lot of work today. So I did a service call in the morning, finished out a job, had lunch, and then came back and cut a bunch of stuff on the table saw. Put the phone in the cradle, in the tripod, and I didn't turn it on. I got distracted, squirrel, squirrel, and I didn't turn it on for some reason. And sometimes I won't be talking during live. Sometimes I'll just put it up. That boom goes up about 12, 15 feet. It's old light. Oh, excuse me. It's old TBS light rig. So I have that. So it's pretty cool. And I can push that around the shop. I can do whatever. Stay. I'm gonna go grab a drink, y'all. I'm dying here. But yeah, so we're not gonna copy everybody. We're trying to be kind of original, but try to give people content they like to see. So if there's something out there you want to see more, you can messenger us. You can leave a comment in one of our videos. Check them out. Like there's like 850 of them. Like and subscribe if you haven't yet. We're going to be doing giveaways. We're going to be doing a lot more lives. I didn't really want to invest too much. I have an iPhone 17. Hey everybody, if I haven't said hi to you, hello. Hello. Oh, we're up to 8 likes. Woohoo! All right, guys. But yeah, I'm just kind of hanging out in the shop a little bit. It's kind of the end of the day. I might be hanging out here for a little bit longer. Kind of talked a little bit about stuff as I kind of go around the shop. I got to do a shop tour. I haven't yet. I have a ton of clamps. And that's just some of the clamps we have. We have a lot more at the other shop, but I have some here. If I even said hello, Bob. Hello, Bob. There's the TV. That's my shop TV. We have 2 workbenches right now. I need to get another one. But one thing I got to do, and I don't like this about these, are as soon as I get a chance, I have some ash that's over there. I'm going to take some. This is poplar, I think. But I got to cut out. I got to Forstner bit these. But I'm going to put ash over these to stiffen them up, just tie them in a little bit better. That way it's a little bit more stable when you're working on something big. And redo the base. And then I got to put fold-up wheels on this one like I have on that one over there. So, and I got those on Marketplace. I spent like $300. That's just the other side of the shop. You don't really see that much. But yeah, whoops. Yeah, I spent like $300 on that one and $300 on that one's a little bit bigger, a little bit better one. They're great. I have a bunch of stuff all over, but they're 2 clamp. That one came with the wheels already on it. You pop the wheels up and then you push them around. And I gotta get rid of some things too in here. Like when I get these racks out of here, when the paint area is done, um, I gotta get. Well, it's not gonna be done, but it's just gonna be here and ready for us to go in there. I gotta get rid of this old. Get over there, old. What is that? Industrial cart. We got it thinking we'd use it a lot more, and it just holds junk. We got a couple sinks there for a project coming up. A couple ACs that we utilize sometimes when we're in houses that or areas. We'll put an AC up and kick it on. That cabinet, and can't really see it, but that white thing behind the racks right there, that's another cabinet. And I have another 30-inch cabinet I got to put together. That's actually going to go. I'll really take you over here. So this is so right here is the other side of the shop. I'm going to take the 3 cabinets and do a 30, 18, and a 30. So right there, I just have, that's my outfeed. Crazy, isn't it? I have that kind of done. Again, you kind of do what you can. You work with what you got, do what you can. If you have a big space, fantastic. If you don't have a big space, you got to, this isn't big for us because we keep getting pigeonholed, and it's big. It's a nice big place. It's bigger than most people's houses, and we know that. But I can use a 10,000 square foot shop. And that's hopefully what I would love for YouTube to kind of pay for that, and that'd be all I'd really want is YouTube to pay for me a nice big old shop to lease or to buy. That way I can do more content, build more stuff. The problem is with this shop is when we have stuff in here and there's projects that need to go out, we don't have the room to actually do the work in, and then to house the project. Sometimes we got to rent storage units just to get them out of the actual shop a lot of times. So that's one of the bigger problems that we have is actually doing that. So yeah, you don't you don't have to go crazy. But yeah, but what I was telling you was, I use my pocket knife for almost everything, and even for shaving up walnut, doing a chamfer out in the field, modifying something to stick into something, or shaving a mortise down, or a shelf or something like that, or just I like whittling. I'll take something, I'll make this a small baseball bat type little thing, or a knife handle. Sometimes that, or I'll even run my knife along it and just break the edge and then run some sandpaper on it. All you got to do is just break the edge of something and then run a block over it. And all I do for blocks, I take a piece of scrap wood, I put a piece of sticky back sandpaper on it and run it over with a block of wood half the time. That's how I sand stuff, along with the Festool sanders. But if I'm just doing a chamfer edge or I'm cleaning something up, I just do it by hand a lot of times. Again, we don't have a CNC, nor will I ever get a CNC. Let me rephrase that. I don't really want to get a CNC. It's not that I don't, we never will, but kind of I don't really want to again. I don't care for them. They're troublesome. They make you lazy a little bit. And then also too, if somebody helps me cut something down, right? And I got an employee here and he's helping me cut cabinet boxes down, and he's seen all the motion and he retains 95% of it. That person can go back and redo something and use what they use or what they learned on maybe another project to excel their experience to be able to handle more projects. If you're just walking up to a CNC loading the plywood in, pushing the button that a programmer makes, walking away, sweeping the floors, loading up material, unloading other material, and then unloading that table, and that table gets done and loading it again, you're not very useful in real life situations. I can't take you out to the field. You're just basically a floor sweeper, helper, grunt worker. You just hey guys, how's it all going? I'm not really watching chat too much, so just if you're talking amongst yourself, great. If you have questions, I'll try to catch them and go over them. Sometimes I'll get them wrong, but just bear with me. Like I said, I'm alone in the shop. I'm getting a little tired. Haven't really been sleeping very good for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe it's a lack of subscribers. Maybe it's weighing on me. No, but so if you're out there and you're doing manual labor, that's fine. But I would rather have somebody in the shop, in the field, learning from it, learning from their mistakes, learning from the day to day. And then eventually, if they want to go and open their own company or buy my company or whatever later on, they can. If you're just a forklift driver, that's one thing. I have no idea. I'm not really watching chat. I think somebody out from Realistics helping me out there in the chat, y'all, saying hello and talking about things. So hopefully that's correct. Sometimes the TV brings it up. I can actually read it. Oh, you do wood signs. Cool. Yeah, I've done a few actually wood signs, and I actually really like them. I've burned a few signs. I've done layered signs with stuff. I've done some for gun shops. I've done some for furniture shops and things like that. I actually like building. My family on one side were big sign people, mostly sign painters, but I don't mind building signs. I like them. I would like to build something in the back, hang on the wall back over here. It's a bunch of dead space. Eventually, either we're going to grow out of this, which we pretty much are. Second we walked in here, we outgrew it. But I'd like to put a big sign up or a mezzanine up in here for more space. But again, I don't know if that's going to happen. But yeah, we do all kinds of stuff like that. Murphy beds, Murphy doors, custom furniture, cabinets, built-ins, stairs, kind of you name it. If it's woodworking and even trim work, sometimes we'll do chair rail, crown, custom moldings, fireplace surrounds and built out and big different kind of chunky mantles. We'll do like pull out shelves and drawers for kitchens. We do service calls. We'll fix granite countertops, Corian, butcher block, some laminate we'll fix. I don't like Formica that much. I'm not very good at it. My dad was good at it. Father-in-law is good at it. I just never picked up that. For some reason, I just don't really do a whole lot of Formica. I haven't really liked doing Formica. When I have done it, I've got cut by Formica. I know I'm playing with a knife, but yeah, I've got cut by Formica pretty good, almost like Formica burn down my arm. It sucks. And the glue it's like glitter or herpes. It gets everywhere. Once it's out, it's just good luck containing it. It'll gum up everything. I don't have the place I could spray. Usually the best way to do that is you lay it up and you spray both sides, let it get tacky, put it together, use the dowel rods and work it out from the inside out, and then trim it with the router. But yeah, I don't do much Formica tops. I don't like them that much. I think of Formica tops as manual transmissions sometimes. Now I like them in a sports car and a Jeep. Don't get me wrong. I'm not down in a manual transmission. But If it was so great, we wouldn't have made automatics. Okay, I'm just saying. You work a lot. The last thing I want to do is be playing with the stick shift. I'd rather drive home on my automatic or drive the work van. That's an automatic. Uh, they have their place on the drag strip and in race cars, but man, it's not a super fun thing to navigate or sit in traffic for 5 hours in a stick shift, which I have done before, and it's awful. Um, but yeah, Formica tops were so great, we wouldn't have created Corian and used granite tops and stainless steel, and we've done copper tops, wrapped, pinned copper tops, and pinned hoods for ovens. A lot of our stuff we didn't take pictures of. For years and years, we did maybe you know pictures to cover our own butt or a quick overall. They were mostly close-ups of the items. We just started now doing back further items, and then I changed phones. So right before we started doing YouTube, I thought, hey, well, I didn't think, hey, uh, one of the girls in the office said, hey, why don't we get you a new phone that way? And I'm not down in it. It's awesome. I got the iPhone 17. We didn't know that it was going to dump like 90% of my photos. So I could have put 5,000 videos up on the videos we had in my old phone, but for some reason, they didn't transfer, or you had to pay extra. They didn't tell you um, to transfer all of my photos over, and I lost a bajillion of them. And we've just started trying to find them on other platforms, on computer backups and things like that. We haven't found all of them. Not even a tenth of them, but some of them we have. Like it took me this long to find pictures of River when he was all muddy. Like half of them's muddy, half of them's not. Those pictures I put on a few of the videos. It took me almost a year. So in January that we were going to start doing YouTube, and she signed up for it. We talked about buying a camera, and then they decided to get me a new phone. That way it would be easier to work on. And it wasn't. It totally sucked because I probably complained about it a little too much. Sometimes there's probably somebody shaking their head yes, off in a distance somewhere. But it annoyed me that I lost that many pictures, that many videos. I had really cool stuff. I didn't have any pictures of Bigfoot, or the aliens, um, you know, but I had some really cool pictures of nature, jobs, tools, funny stuff, dog stuff, um, work stuff. It annoyed me. So I could have had a lot more job stuff related, things we have done in the past and built. But you will see some of those collaborations on the pictures that we could find and put together. We did shorts on them, and we like doing the shorts because we can do a little. It's almost a little artsy because we can add music to them and arrange them in certain ways where the music hits and it kind of tells the story of the picture. Yeah, no Bigfoot pics, man. I was pissed. I would have been pissed, but yeah. So I didn't have anything like that. Not any, not the grassy knoll, not Bigfoot pics, not a politician actually doing something that they promise. I didn't have any of that, luckily, but I did have some cool pictures. So, yes, I am a facetious, sarcastic person, and I was raised Gen X. So what do you expect? I drank from the water hose. I, did stupid stuff. Eddie Murphy's my hero, type George Carlin, Richard Pryor, all those sarcastic people. I grew up watching their comedy skits and their movies, and watching Jim Belushi and John Belushi, and all those guys. Yeah, I'm sarcastic. I make more reference puns and, like I said, innuendos before. That's how I speak. and that's pretty much what it is. I mean, we just try to have a good time. We don't take ourselves serious. I don't like people picking on people, but sarcastic humor is fun, and we try to be lighthearted and kind of flowy and just ourselves. We are not putting on an act. It's just who we are. Again, this is what we do. We don't have to find if I don't have content, I don't usually put videos out, or I might do an AI short or something like that because YouTube recommends it. But we don't chase after stuff. I don't make something for nobody. All of our stuff is made for customers that are actually paying for it. Um, we go places, we do stuff that we want to go do and see. We go to car shows, we go to knife shows, we go to knife shops, we go to tool shops, we go to all that fun stuff just because we like doing it. Sometimes in the winter time or the colder months, we'll do metal detecting in places that'll allow us. Uh, we've bought storage units before. I missed out on a really great storage unit. I guess they paid the last minute, but it had tons of Festool stuff in it, and I was willing to. And none of it was out. It was all the Substainer boxes, and they were stacked up real nice. And I'm thinking, if I spend $5,000 on this thing, and none of these tools are in these boxes, that would have really hurt because it didn't have enough. It had a lot of junk in it, and it had a lot of material in it, but it was all like trim and looked like from leftover jobs. It did have like a Bosch table saw in it, like the 4100, I believe, and then it had a Ryobi miter saw, which that was a little sketchy. And then it looked like a little trim one, something you have on the job site though. But it didn't have a ton of high quality tools out. It just had a whole bunch of Substainers. So my luck would be I would buy it for $2,500 or $5,000, and guy kept his wire nuts and bolt collection in it or something, or old plumbing fixtures, something like that. Baby doll heads or something like that, or his weird creepy toenail collection. It wouldn't be tools. So I have luck like that sometimes. I don't have bad luck, but I don't have great luck. I don't find the suitcase full of millions of dollars, or I've only won $100 on the lottery in all my life. So I haven't won that. But let me walk over, see if there's anything major going on in chat. And I got a few things I got to do. Like I said, I might make a few shorts of just something around the shop because I haven't really made too many videos in the last day and a half or 2 days. But if you're in here, fantastic. Hey, we're up to 11 likes. If you haven't liked, double tap the screen, like the video, please, or the live stream. We are always doing something. There's multiple people that kind of do part-time work for us. And we do cool stuff all the time. Like I said, I mean, I'm going to be putting a little home studio in just that way I can kind of do stuff when I'm not feeling like coming in, or don't have to. This is going to be my walnut backdrop. I just got to clear coat it. Just a walnut sheet of 1/4-inch ply. We sanded down with the Festool Planex. I never can remember. That's the drywall tool, but we use it for plywood a lot of times. So yeah, that's the Planex. But we can wheel the camera around, which is really nice. We can, kind of find something to talk about and talk about stuff. And I was going to go live today, but again, not that I didn't have the energy to, or I didn't feel like it. I just forgot. And I got distracted by actually getting work done. And we just didn't go live, unfortunately. So that kind of sucked. Because we're trying to do that more to get our numbers up. But again, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. We're doing all kinds of fun stuff all the time. And then if you're you can leave a comment. There's a video out there where you can win something if you leave a comment in our videos. So giveaway video coming up, ends this end of this week. It's just a viewer appreciation hammer. I showed it early in the live stream, so if you missed, and there's videos on it, shorts and a couple videos back previously. You can check those out too if you want to. This is just a stool seat by one of the other makers that help us in the shop, made out of whiskey barrels. It's pretty cool. She has a bunch of them. So just a rustic kind of just neat little thing. You can put it on something on a shelf and put stuff on it if you wanted to, or a pot, or a plant or something. But yeah, we'll sometimes be featuring things like that too. And then if somebody wants to send us something to feature and talk about, we can do that too. There's some makers up here that do small stuff that we might do. We might go into, what's kind of cool is, I don't know if you guys have them. They're like guilds or co-ops in your area. That sounds like thunder. So hopefully I don't lose power. But yeah, they have co-ops or guilds, or they have multiple different names for them. Some say emporiums. But what it is a bunch of small makers like jewelry, ceramics, quilters, woodworker, painter, photographers, framers, stuff like that. Not the framing of walls, but framing of frames for pictures, and so on. But small items, kind of like what a lot of people make on YouTube and sell and promote and go live making. What they'll do is, somebody will have a space that they'll kind of rent out, but they even have it for themselves. So what they'll do is they'll actually say, if I made these for a living and I made them a couple days a week, and I wanted to sell them, and they don't have any of these in the store, they'll let you put them in the store, but you have to contribute a day or two of your time to sell other people and your stuff, but sell everybody else's stuff. You're there basically. You have to get to know the products. You have to get to know the other makers. And then you have a community almost of people that work part-time at these stores. And usually they're small downtown areas of the older downtowns and middle-sized towns and small towns. But they're popping up more and more because they're becoming a lot more useful, or people like them a little bit. Because it's almost like a general store. There's tons of different products, especially during the holidays, and you're giving gifts. Handmade items are really cool. They usually last a lifetime versus, actually buying something from Amazon or something like that. But yeah, that's something that we do like. We like cool tools and squares and things like that, y'all. But the stools are very cool. I think somebody commented on that. This is Serendipity Woodworking. I think they have a Facebook page. I don't know if they have a website. Need to feature more of their stuff too. But anyway, I'm going to feature some of that stuff too. Friend of ours, Hal. If you're watching Hal, you can come by the shop, have some lunch. Hal's a maker. He makes really cool stuff. He's getting older. He doesn't like making the big stuff, but people talk him into making beds and entertainment centers all the time too, and he does it because he loves woodworking. He's retired, but he found a love after he retired from his. He had a really important job too. I don't remember. It wasn't in woodworking at all or any kind of trades. It was like either financing, or he ran some kind of company. I don't remember. Sorry, Hal. I'm not very good with that sometimes. But he has a really cool origin story in woodworking, and he's made a lot of neat and interesting pieces. He has an eye for uh, some different designs. I mean, he kind of pushes the envelope, almost like old timey Frank Lloyd Wright, green and green style furniture. He kind of like what I do. I don't like to do the norm. I like to do other stuff out of the box. But he really does some cool stuff. He has a very neat design eye and artistic ability, which is great. He likes working with like walnuts and spalted maples and all kinds of exotic stuff. But he builds some really cool things, from little speaker boxes that you put your phone in to cutting boards, chess boards, Lazy Susans, tops, little old timey tops that you can, wooden tops that he turns. Um, and like I said, and then he makes furniture sets, end tables, little corner cabinets and tables. Super cool stuff. I'll see if I can feature some of that stuff coming up here too, since the holidays are coming up. Um, and a lot of that stuff can be ordered on their websites or through their Facebook or something too, if you like stuff. But yeah, I mean, definitely, I really like small makers. That's why I kind of fell into the YouTube um, community for small woodworkers and mostly hobbyists. I might be one of the fewer contractors in the group. Maybe I'm not so relatable to other people because of we do large projects, kitchens, and other things. We're not just a hobby station. So, I mean, we don't really fit a niche. I don't really fit in anywhere. Um, we don't really, we're not cookie cutter. Probably YouTube doesn't know where to put us because we're so weird and different. But I really like the smaller community. I think um, they support each other. They look out for each other. They like each other. Um, I'm not gonna start naming names. If you're in here, hello, how you doing? All. If my helper is online, they can maybe name some of the names and some of the people that we've met on the way of our very short uh, but growing YouTube um, community and story. But yeah, I mean, we've had a good time actually. From a little bit larger content creators like Wes Does It to the smaller people that have even a hundred subscribers. We were there really not too long ago, and they're trying to grow their station, their brand, their sell their goods, and they do a pretty good job, and they do a really good job with communication and letting things kind of between the two, or not two, for the other people of hey, you gotta check out this, or hey, this person was looking for that, or there was a sale on this, or whatever the case may be. Um, so yeah, there's a lot of stuff that we try to get around to and do. I hopefully will be doing some hobby stuff for the holidays, and also too, sometimes we'll do them for giveaways and appreciations, either on the channel or for customers themselves. I mean, if somebody buys and spends a ton of money and we do tons of work for them, sometimes I'll find out what they like and either do a cutting board shaped in like a guitar, or maybe they want a wood mallet or a letter opener, or just something cool and neat that we can do. Um, we'd like to give back and do those kind of neat things. And then we will be doing wood turning here. We will be making knives periodically and some tools out of different stuff. So that would be kind of interesting in the future. I mean, if I had the space, I would get a potting spinner thing. I would paint. I just love the arts. Any kind of art expression, from photography to metalworking to woodworking. Uh, I love. It's really cool what the people can come up with, and it is about ready to pour. So I don't know if. Hopefully I don't lose power. But if I do, I'll just sign off, or it'll sign itself off. But if I don't, I'll just keep talking a little bit and kind of thinking about stuff to talk about. Like I said, I might do a couple shorts tonight. This is, again, a really cool stool. I kind of like it for my lives. It kind of is at that perfect height for me to lean on. But yeah, so it's one thing or another. I have a bunch of little projects coming up. We're going to be probably putting the camera in the corner and be cutting stuff. And we got a delivery coming tomorrow, so we got to unload a bunch of plywood. We have the drywall cart sitting over there to unload everything on. I have, I think, 100 foot of poplar and 100 foot of maple coming, soft maple. That's what we do this stuff out of. This is our face frame material. And then we can make the face frames, then run them through the sander, run the doors through the sander. That way it makes them super level and straight. So we'll do that a lot of times. We have a big 36-inch double drum sander. It's kind of over there hiding. Again, it's, I cover them up. That way they don't get all dusty, especially the belt sander because it has the belt. It's the Supermax 37. Really cool machine. I got to put the outfeed tables on it. I don't have those right this second, but I will. I don't have them on right this second. They're right over here on the saw stop job site saw, and then the big 37-inch Supermax is back over there. Laguna makes that product, or they bought that product. I will be back in just a second. Chat will kind of keep up with what. I'm just going to take a quick minute break or two. All right, I'm back. I had to go in the other room for a second. But yeah, so hey, there's 8 people in here. Awesome. 13 likes. We're doing pretty good. That's awesome. And we have a bunch of people in chat, it looks like, just talking them up. Like I said, they're answering y'all. I'm just kind of dancing in front of the screen. It's all an illusion. Watch the person dancing in front of the monitor. No, this isn't politics. I don't have my hand in your back pocket as I'm dancing in front of you. But again, I'm extremely sarcastic. Whew. Man. All right, anybody have anything you want to talk about? Anything, any questions, any tool questions? Any, kind of taking a break, walking back here. But yeah, if you have any questions or things you want to talk about or stuff you see in the shop that you have a question about. So eventually I will get to kind of like on the knife shorts or even the reviews. I plan on doing a couple things. I'm going to show you this. This is super cool. Well, I'm just kind of goofing off, not doing much. I am going to do this. Heidi brought me this to play with. She got it when she bought her Powermatic 24-inch lathe. This is one of those. This is actually a wood burning unit. not a burner, but a I call it wood burner. Yeah, this is one of those super cool electrode thingies that you stick these in your ears. No, you don't. Don't do that. Don't do that. That'd be bad. But theoretically, you put them on the wood, and then it burns the cool stuff. I've never done it, but this is actually a machine. It has a foot pedal. It's a 120 machine. It's got a foot pedal. I guess that you put your hands, because your hands are tied up, and you step on the foot pedal and it electrocutes it. So I'm kind of going to play with this maybe in the next week or so. I don't have anything I'm really doing with it that I really want or need to, but she wasn't using it and brought it over. It's like, hey, play with this. I was like, okay, cool. So yeah, this is going to be kind of a neat little fun tool to play with. I can't wait to do that. That'd be pretty cool. Again, this isn't like a microwave. Can't remember what those are called. I usually remember what they're called. Anyway, not transponder. I don't remember. There's a part in a microwave sometimes you can use for these things. It's like a transformer, but it's not. They call it something else. But yeah, this will be super fun to play with. Carry it over, show you the label and everything on it. I'll go put it back up. But yeah, this is for doing those electro kind of something like that. So this is what it is, y'all. Pretty cool, pretty different. Like I said, don't stick them in your ears; you'll go blind. But kind of a neat little thing. Hey, it's made in the USA. That's good. Neon transformers too are something I think somebody uses. I've heard before. I can't remember the thing that's in the microwave. It'll pop in there, like the Plane X did. The Plane X sander popped in there a little bit later. The Tron? I don't know. Like the Tron? Maybe it's something like that. I'll think of it. It's one of those things you don't think about half the time that it gets you. Yeah, I'm going to be careful with it. I'm not going to, like I said, I won't stick it in my ears or put it on my tongue and up my you-know-what or anything like that. If you feel the tingle, it's bad, y'all. Don't invoke the tingle. But I worked in the electrical industrial field in automation and controls, and I'm pretty handy with electrical, and it doesn't scare me. But then again, I do respect it, and I know what you can and cannot do. So it's definitely something to respect and to take your time in, and don't rush. Plus, you have to know what you're doing. So. And then there's walnut that I don't want to throw away, so I just have to put it somewhere. But ton of stuff I got to do, ton of stuff I want to do. Never have enough time. And then when you have time, sometimes you don't feel like doing it. But yeah, we make. So if you just we do stairs, we do custom cabinets and custom almost everything. We build all of our own doors, most of our own drawers. If something depends on how much time we have. We don't have a dovetailer in the shop right now. We're going to get one. There's one in another shop locally that we use, but it's a little bit far away. So we don't always. Sometimes we'll have leftover doors from projects that we make. Sometimes we have to remake a door because it's not perfect or something like that. But we do make our own doors. I think this one fell. That's why. Yeah, this one fell. This corner is all messed up. If you this one's really rounded. We Somebody dropped this one in the shop, I think, and before we got it finished. So this one's a crisp 90 degree, and this one's roundy and ugly. That's why we remade it. But yeah, I mean, just this is a pine doors we made for a kitchen years ago. I have two of them. Actually, I had three of them, but I had to get a bit made because the bit got lost for this particular style, and it's got a large ramp on the panel, and then a piece, and then we had a bit company remake it for us. So I had to cut apart the door I had and make it. Sometimes we even have to play with stuff. Sometimes I keep the doors to utilize other places. This one's just laying down on the ground here. This one's a maple door. We were playing with they wanted the raised panel to protrude past, so we were looking at options on how to do it the way they wanted to get the look that they wanted. So we set that up to kind of protrude a little bit past, and did the zero a little bit different. But yeah, we'll do stuff like that. We build, like I said, 90, 95 or more % of it in-house. We like what we do. And usually, I mean, if we do a kitchen, it takes up a lot of room in the shop, so we can only pump out one custom kitchen at a time, and then a couple smalls or service calls or things like that on the way if we're waiting for stuff to dry. We'll usually do, or sometimes we'll come in and stain or paint, go out and do a service call or quotes, come back and do another layer or something half the time. But yeah, that's kind of like our doors on what we do. Like I said, we do keep them. So if you're looking at doing some hobby kind of around the house things, go to your local cabinet shops. I mean, you can go places. Sometimes you can find them on Marketplace, but a lot of times your local cabinet shops will have damaged doors they never put in. They put them aside. If you're building like an end table or something like that, and like I said, I have two of these. So if you're doing something that you want to build a small piece of furniture, but doors scare you, or you don't have the equipment to do doors, and you just want to do a top, like maybe a rustic epoxy top, something you did, or buy one, or even kind of piece something together. Say if you want to buy legs off of Osborne legs, and you want to build a box with a top or a slab top, you can just go to your local cabinet guys and see if they have any one-offs or any. Sometimes they'll even give them to you. Sometimes they'll charge you $100 for like a couple doors. But if you can pick them up for that price, and they're a couple $100 doors, you might as well do it. That way you can make some small furniture and do some small projects, give some gifts away, make a corner cabinet, and something that you wouldn't have all the materials to do. Like I said, sometimes people do whole kitchens. Sometimes there are cabinet doors in there and face frames all painted, ready to go, or stained, and the customer didn't like the color, and they've redone them all. Instead of sanding them back down, it's just easier sometimes just to remake them. And there'll be stacks of stuff. Or sometimes they'll get in a job, or they'll reface a job, and they'll bring the cabinet doors back, thinking they want to, like we do a lot of times, thinking we want to, and we usually have to donate them to the housing authority, and they can do something with them usually. But I mean, that's the best way to do it. You can, especially because they're theoretically new. They might have a ding in the back, or they might have something wrong with them, or they might just be, maybe somebody forgot to make them the right size. But it's just one of those things. They can also ask for their scrap. Like we got to do a clean out here probably pretty soon. But again, a lot of people that work with us, um, like Heidi here, Heidi will take all the scrap. She'll be like, yeah, give me the scrap. I'll do something with it. I'll make stuff like this out of it, or little things she can sell at the craft fairs and the events and the Bigfoot festivals and the alien festivals and the Apple festivals and the art festivals and whatever and whatnot. Um, Even y'all can, like I said, you build some legs, you build a box, you get a door at a place, and you put some hinges on it, put a top of your liking on it, and there you go. There's a $200 to $500, depending on the design and the quality of the build, dollar bill right in your hands for pennies on the dollar. Um, Another good place to find lumber is granite yards. Granite yards that not a granite company, a granite yard, somebody that supplies granite to local fabricators. So like a warehouse, like a stone warehouse, things like that. They import from South America and all kinds of other countries, and sometimes you'll get, because they have to pack it all in containers, so they'll use usually 2 or 3 by squared hardwoods from indigenous from that area. So sometimes you'll get awesome woods from South America. You'll get it's not pallet wood either. This is actually real, rubber woods and mahoganies and just so many things that you can think of. Exotic woods that you actually get from the containers. And what they'll do is when they get the container and they'll break it all apart, and there's usually either 3-foot or 6-foot sections that you can cut away the nails at, and they have to pay for dumpsters anyway. I think I talked about this on another live, but you can utilize that to get a lot of free lumber, and you can even mill that up or clean it up, get the nails all out, and you can either sell that for money to buy tools or buy whatever, or you can even clean it up, even mill it to S3S or S4S, and then even make more money on the board foot than you would if it was raw lumber. But it's a really good way to find some good hardwood for nothing. Even some people will actually pay you to cut it up and take 90% of it away. That way, one, it's chopped up into smaller pieces and they can put more in their dumpster. Two, they're not having to pay that extra load of dumpster because they're throwing skeletons on top of skeletons, and it takes up so much volume and weight because those large pieces are in the way. It's a really good way to make some money and some free wood. So just a tip, just a little helpful hint and tip that's something that I see a lot of times. That, again, I can't say enough about it because I love doing that. I did it all the time. I would sell it on Marketplace and on Craigslist for $300 to $500 a bundle, and I would stack it up on a drywall cart and just strap it down at the shop, and it was awesome. It was a moneymaker. We got in probably, and we had the granite shop. We had 2 of them about 2 of them a month, and I'd make a lot of money off of just selling the wood. And I had a wood shop. We sold lumber, a lot of exotic stuff. There's 1 or 2 pictures of it. Again, that was some of the stuff that, like my Bigfoot picture that got deleted. It did sell all the time. It was neat because a lot of the little makers, and that's kind of like what it feels like. A lot of the little makers would come in to the shop to buy those one-offs or something like that. Yes, the bit is from Hickory. I have the bit. Let me show you what the bit looks like. It's good quality. I got it in the 3/4 spindle size. Here you go. This is looks like the Kroll, weapon. But yeah, I have this plastic. I left the plastic on it, but the tooling it's fantastic. It's a nice, look at that big old carbide on there, man. It's super nice, and they'll sharpen them too. they'll sharpen blades. We don't really sharpen our blades that often. I need to probably make a run of it and have them sharpen more. But thank you for responding. And they do orders and they do stuff. You can send them a piece of a door. If you have a bad door, you can cut it and send that to them, and they will make you the raised panel bits of even bits like 1/2 inch bits. You don't have to be shaper bits. The thing I like about shaper bits versus routers are the motor systems. I mean, I have a little 1.5 jet, and I don't have to make multiple passes if I don't want to. On the Maple, I will because it'll tear it out, because of the bits and stuff like that. But you don't have to really, finesse it. It just eats through what it wants to eat through. It's super good. They're super strong. They don't have that irritating router noise that other routers have. But yeah, so that's super cool. And I wish they would do like rent a bit. If you could rent a bit set, they had somebody had 1,000 bits that they rented out and they would mail them to you, kind of like Netflix used to do. When they used to, or was it Redbox or Netflix? I think it was Netflix that started out. You would pick your discs and they would mail you the disc and you just mail them back. Yeah, I wish somebody would do that with bits. They would just sharpen them and resend them. But if I could do that, it'd be great because I don't need a bit all the time. That's a door we offer, like this door here, a little bit different profiles. Like we have both of these bit profiles, but this was the one that we were missing, the big one I just showed you. But yeah, I mean, if you could rent a bit, have it sent to you, do the door that you needed to do, and send it back, quarter of what the bit cost, that'd be awesome. That'd be a business right there. Market it to tool companies. You'd have big tools and little tools and big shaper tools and anything from 1/4 inch up to 1.25 inch shaper. And I think even they make even bigger spindle heads than that. And then some of your even granite heads are a little bit different because they're diamond coated and infused. They're not carbide, so you couldn't really do granite tooling because it wears so much, and then it wears ridges in the profile. But most of that stuff would be pretty cool. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much about it. I've been kind of screwing off, waiting for the rain to stop. Let me walk outside real quick and check out, see what that's doing. You can talk and chat. Again, if you haven't liked, subscribe, leave a comment, please. Up to 14. Woohoo! 5 people in here. All right. That sounds great. Hope you all are having a good time. At least listen to me ramble. Maybe I'm passing the time. Maybe tell me where you are. If you're in chat, tell me what you're doing. If you're driving, just listening to me. Maybe I'm, on at work, or maybe you're at a business or something like that. And you just let me play in the background. There's a box that blew in front of the door. I'll have to fold that box up and put it in the trash. Yeah, it's kind of raining outside, so I'll wait a little bit longer before I head out and just kind of screw around. If you check out one of my other videos, I'm putting together, there is a oven that I asked y'all to guess what I was going to do in a kitchen. Nobody got it. There are a few guesses, I believe, but nobody got it. If you see it, it's back there a little bit. It's not too far back in the archive of all of our videos, but I will give you a little tip, and you can order on Amazon. It's not the cheapest thing in the world. People make fun of it when I tell them about it, but it is phenomenal stuff. I've used it for many years now. Actually, it came on the market, I don't know, maybe 8 years ago, maybe 10 years ago. It used to be something else, but it just got kind of, oops, there we go. I got it. This stuff's awesome. They make it in a few colors. They make it in like a creamy white-ish, like a tan. They make it in a gray. They make it in a black. But this stuff right here, man, this is Black Mamba. The Black Mamba. And it's got a big old hole in it because it comes out almost like um, the caulking kind of sealant you see on roofs or on window things you see like all the guys doing now. But yeah, this stuff is phenomenal. You can put this so usually what the industry does with this stuff is they put this stuff. Um, this is almost like a get out of jail free card if you're something. Now it does harden up. You don't have it. I mean, it's only good for like a year or two. I had some tubes go bad, but this stuff is strong. I mean, it'll bond. What the industry started using it for is they wanted a way to mount granite sinks without hardware. So they invented this stuff, or they reinvented this stuff for that industry, the granite industry only. And literally you can put, in a couple spots, and you can take a vanity sink and push it up, and all you got to do is go like this. Literally, you take the sink, push it up, you go like that, maybe put a clamp on it with a bar across it to hold it if you really want to, if you want to do other stuff, and you can let go. And that sink will stay there for the rest of your life. I've only seen 2 fall, and that's because the granite guys didn't clean the bottom of the sink off, the bottom of the hole off before they stuck it up, so it was dirty, so it didn't have a good bonding surface. All you gotta do is wipe it off like denatured alcohol or something. But yeah, I mean, this stuff, I put it on my actual truck, my van, and put a toolbox, like a shelving unit. If you watch the van tour, you'll see the van. This stuff, it took me almost a day to cut this stuff out of it so I can pull that toolbox off. And I had to like jack it. I had to put a jack back there and jack it while I cut it free. This is a beast, but this is a field person's wet dream. So if you need that third hand, you need to hold something up. If you wanted to put an electrical panel up and you had to hold it up and then go back, you could just put a little bit of this on the back, stick it up, wiggle it for a second, get it level, and walk away from it, and then go screw it in. It's amazing. I mean, this stuff has so many uses, but I just used it. I put a couple little dabs on panels that I was cutting to make a built-in. I had to basically reskin in the shelves with shelf holes. That way I could put the shelf skins. That way I had to put the shelves in and stuff like that. But you'll see it's oak. But I just put a couple dabs on, pushed it up against it, and that's all you need to do. I mean, this stuff locks things in, and you don't really need fasteners. But if you're trying to get away with putting trim up, and there's no way to really get to it, or you can't put a nail in it, this is absolutely amazing. How's life in the wood shop? It's great. I love it here. I would sleep here if I wasn't afraid to walk around naked, like they say, right? You might get a splinter somewhere. But no, it's fantastic. I love I love people shops. I love going to people shops. I would like to have a video or a life of just going to people shops and making videos. And I might make a few. There's a few really cool makers in the area, and I've become friends with and know a little bit that I might actually, start. So if you're starting woodworking, and I try to tell people, see if there's anybody in your area that you can, kind of go in there and work the day or utilize different stuff, or even if somebody has something on Marketplace that you're considering and they have it for sale, maybe call, see if they'll talk or whatever. Kind of go in a little bit and find out, what tools people are selling, and things. Usually people aren't selling all the good tools. All the tools that usually people are not selling are the tools that people like. Or again, they get into it thinking that they're gonna build a bajillion things, and they buy all these Festool stuff, and then they realize they have to sand everything, and then they realize they hate sanding, so they get rid of everything. Now, here's the thing, right? This is a small 90 by 40 built-in pantry, and that's all the wood for it right there. That's all the doors. That's the face frames. But yeah, I mean, if you've been in the wood shop and you've had good experiences out of them, more power to you. Uh, justify the tool buys, do your research, ask the communities, buy what's pertinent to what you want to build first, and then kind of grow your tools from there. I welcome to the community, welcome to the life. It is awesome. I love it. This is kind of like and I didn't have a bad job before. I made really good money. And I'm here. It's kind of like unless basically I could drive old cars around and go eat places and do absolutely nothing besides enjoy the rest of my life. That would be the ideal thing. But I would still have even if I won the lottery, I would still have a shop. That way I can go out there and build stuff. I love building stuff. It's fun. It's definitely entertaining. Working on, so if you're starting out and you're going to actually be doing stuff for people, like people are paying you, do yourself a favor, do a little bit of research, talk to some small business owners, do some contractual things, kind of cover your own butt. Sometimes clients will change their mind midstream, then you got to eat that and pay for it if you don't have a contract done up and an approval sketch or something. Make sure you're covered. Make sure you have a little bit of insurance. Insurance for a company, especially a small company like that, if you have a company. If you're just doing it on the side, that's great. If you're starting out a small company, get some insurance. That way you're kind of covered. You can cover your tools. You can cover your vehicle. You can cover, you and the customer in case something happens. But do a little bit of due diligence. Cover your own butt on a lot of stuff. I can't tell that enough. I can't tell you that enough. It's not red tape. It's not that you're trying to get over on somebody. It's the fact that you are making a clear line and telling them what to expect. You know what they want, and you have it in writing. Therefore, you're not left holding the bank. And then if you can get paid all, like if I'm going to charge somebody $1,000 to build something, if you can get all that money up front, more power to you. We usually charge 60 to 75% usually on almost anything we do, depending on what it is. If it's custom or whatever, it's non-refundable if it's custom. But if it's a kitchen or something like that, and then it's done in stages. Sometimes either when we show up to do the last of the work, some of it's a different payout scale, depending on what the job is exactly. But definitely cover your butt, do some paperwork, get the approvals, any changes, get them in writing. You don't have to do change order fees. I think we've done 2 in the last 15 years. We've actually charged for change orders because it was just way too much and it took too much time they just constantly wanted changing stuff. Make it clear that you don't have x-ray vision, that you can't see behind walls, and there might be some unexpected stuff. But if you do find unexpected stuff, let them know. You'll bring it to their attention and you guys can discuss it if you're doing alterations or something like that. Sometimes stairs need alterations and they were built weird. Sometimes there's framing in something if you're cutting in a wall for a built-in, just stuff like that. Sometimes you'll cut in a wall for a built-in and there's plumbing ran up in some weird location that you didn't anticipate. Well, you shouldn't do plumbing if you're just doing little fixes or little things. So you need to have a plumber come in. Well, the homeowner should have to pay for that, not you, because they told you where to put it. Again, you don't have X-ray vision, so just enjoy it. I mean, love it, live it. Have a good time doing it. Enjoy the tools. The tools are great. We all love the tools. Um, that's kind of what people are here for. For these things, they kind of uh, love seeing the tools. Like I said, I'll do a shop video probably next month. We will be upgrading some things. Like we want to upgrade our vac. That's the only vac we have, and we have vacuums around the shop. Like we have a vacuum at the Capex. We have some workstations that we move around. There's our big TV, our Mortison Powermatic Mortiser. This is for a countertop job with we're installing cabinets for. This is the countertops we got to build. These get clear coated and out the door. Those are our paint racks that we'll be moving. We got to build 2 custom church handrails, kind of like panel like that. We have tons of stuff going on. We have to move some stuff around. We have a lot of Festool cool tools. This is the neat table saw. If you're just joining in, super neat, super fun. Big Oliver, 12-inch, 5-horse with a saw stop slider. This is a really cool bench seat that Heidi from Serendipity Woodworking made. But yeah, I mean, just if you like cool tools, I do too, and you'll see a lot of them, and you'll hear my opinion of them. Everything from really cool titanium hammers, and if I can slip it in the budget, and I can buy one, and I can see how I like them. I do have one of these on the truck, not this color. There is a video on this of the origin story of it, and it's a story. Let me tell you, it's not a Bigfoot story, but it's just about a Bigfoot story. So if you like that, go down to the videos and check that out. It's pretty good. Again, I couldn't make it up if I tried. It's real life is just too crazy to even. I don't know, but I got some of those. I got really unique hammers. My dad had a big hammer collection. I have a semi hammer collection and a kind of a soft spot for it. Probably won't get rid of that one. I gotta get rid of my other ones. I have a whole drawer full of stuff. It's my dad's old rigging axe. This is the hammer I usually have in the shop. This thing's super light. If you're looking for a good woodworking hammer around the shop, Stiletto, these little 10-ounce ones, or Boss. Boss makes a 10-ounce octagon head. I think a 12-ounce. And Martinez makes one too. That's pretty cool. It's like a 10 or 12 ounce. But these light titanium hammers, man, they're great. You can't beat them. They're really comfortable. They got the axe handles that are pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, we have cool stuff like that around the shop. And then even if you're starting out, don't go below the budget on woodpecker and things like that. These Amazon buys are really precision, really good. You don't have to buy all woodpecker stuff. Maybe buy yourself a nice square from them just to feel happy about and glad. And then also too, you can use that Martinez square or something like this. You can use a nice expensive square to reference all your other squares and all your other angles to make sure that all your other angle tools are true and precise. And if they're not, just take them back once you get them. But there's nothing wrong with, like I said, budget Milwaukee stuff or anything like that. Everything like that has a place, and they do a good job making them. I like them. And there's more stuff, like I said, undercover in the backs of things. We just don't have all of it out or all of it available. We are going to be getting some cabinetry on the wall from other jobs. And then we're going to order some. I got to put some cabinets that I have around the shop under my outfeed table. That way I can put some more storage in there. Um, Again, it's hard doing stuff in the shop when you're out doing other jobs and you're making money and stuff like that. But this shop is about 1,600 square feet. It's super nice. We're getting ready to do a finishing area on the side. What kind? What kind of miter saw did you get? Let us know. We like tools. Yeah, I mean, we have a 10-inch Festool miter saw over there, but we have a 12-inch job site. Oops, sorry. Hit the banker's chair with the tripod here. Mastercraft Tool Bevel. Who makes that? Not too familiar with that. Is that a Sears brand or the double bevels are the best? Again, we have the DeWalt, and the reason why you have the DeWalt cordless and battery. I'm sorry, corded and battery, so it has a converter in it. Is that like an offshoot of King's Canada? That gray one? That a company that Dusty Woodworking guy has a lot of? Yeah, because we have that one. Well, I'm waiting on you to respawn. And then we have the 12-inch, 15-inch or 14.5-inch Grizzly under here. We're using on one of the other live streams, and that one's like that new Jet. So the Jet and the Grizzly saw are pretty much the same. Okay, that's cool. It's really hard. I mean, unless a motor goes out, I mean, the dust collection all sucks. The Festool has a little bit better dust collection than most, but not extreme. We've added, like, I don't know if you can see like let me see if I can get you in there. Like we've added onto the. Oh nope, it wants to go horizontal. Never mind, I can't get you under there. But yeah, we've added like fins on the back of the saw, either at a gasket maker, like that really thick rubbery kind of stuff. Let me see if I can get at this one. Yeah, so if you can see this one, right where the throat is, we just hot glue in like some gasket makers or like that real thick kind of rubbery. It moves, but it's like a 16 thick rubber like gasket maker to make little, like a little area that'll actually get in. So yeah, that stuff's pretty cool. And that's all we use. The one thing that I found that I like doing is I like using the HEPA bags on the shop vacs versus the filters. I think you have better suction overall if you use the bags, and that's what I use on my Festool and the whatever I was using. I don't even remember where it is. When I had the other, this one right here. Yeah, this old rigid right here has a bag in it also. Um, yeah, so we put the bags in them, and they seem like they have a lot more power than just using the filter than the other stuff. But we like Festool. Um, we are if you like some of the stuff you see, like, subscribe. It's only going to get better from here. We have a bunch of tools that we're going to go get and add into the shop as the year goes on. Um, we're going to do upgrades. I wish even some of the other companies would make bigger, better saws. Like, there would be improvements on them. Uh, I really like the slider. I'll walk you over here. I like the slider of the DeWalt. I'm sorry, the DeWalt. DeWalt's not bad. We have the Bosch and stuff like that, but the Festool, man, it's really good. I like the cylinder drive on these. Um, there's not much deflection on the Bosches. It kind of moves a lot. I don't like that as much, but I like this, and I like the one-handed. You flip up the back and it adjusts. It's zero clearance. They are pricey, and I know. I mean, we are a full-time woodworking shop, so I mean the prices are still even high for us. But I mean, if you can afford it, buy what you can afford, and then work on it, and then later on down the line, if you're selling your work or if you're making better money, upgrade yourself. You don't have to always have the. I mean, we sure didn't. I mean, some of my first things were either hand-me-downs or like a job site Craftsman table saw that I did 90% of the work on, with hand saws to do the rest. So, yeah, I mean, I have an origin story just like everybody else. I've come from not having any tools to having two shops and all kinds of fun, and uh, we do a lot of cool jobs, a lot of cool builds. If you're newer to the chat and to the channel, check out some of our stuff. We have a huge library already. It's like 850 videos or something like that. Like I said, we're only adding more and kind of growing from here. You'll see a lot of content, kind of like what we have now, but all about tools, knives, shop stuff, builds, custom stuff, tips and tricks and maintenance. Got some funny dogs. The dogs are hilarious. I don't have to do anything. I just have to walk up with a camera or follow them around, and probably be YouTube magic. But sometimes I like to get on here and just ramble. I like staying in my shop anyway. It's very fun, very exciting. But I think I'm gonna start packing it up and getting out of here for the day. I might try to go live a little bit later in the afternoon or in the evening, maybe from the home office. I don't have it all set up yet, but I'm gonna bring like the microphones back and some other stuff. That way, yeah. And I'll tell you what, the Amazon stuff. I just walked back to the back. The Amazon stuff, if you're buying it, is great. It'll get you started. We still do a lot of the Amazon jigs and holders and tools, and especially the gauge tools, like the setup tools. Oh my gosh, like these things are inexpensive, and these things will save you so much time in guesstimating, because you can drop a predetermined block. These are like $20. I mean, put this on your Christmas list. You can easily set your miter saw up, your table saw, your router bits. When you're trying to hunt for like say if you're trying to do this and you can't really get into this location for something, all you got to do, I don't know if you can see that, can't really, back you up just a little bit. You don't have to see the exact thing, but let me show you something real quick before I get off the thing. So if you're trying to figure out that dimension, you can't really get to it, but you can feel it. You can grab your setup blocks if you're in the service call or something. You're like, oh, well, that's a little bit bigger than 3/4, but then you can kind of work yourself back and do a 1/2 inch. Maybe if you say it's bigger than 3/4, I can do a 1/2 inch and maybe a 732 and be like, yep, 1/2 inch and 732 is the exact measurement of what I'm trying to put together. So that's something we do. We have a work van, a ProMaster, and we have some of the shop. But the good thing about it is using these. That's just a little tip. Definitely invest in something like this if you're doing stuff. You can feel when you're putting something together. You know, you have the different height ranges and the 45s and stuff like that, but you can easily find measurements that you can't otherwise get sometimes by just figuring out that you can do that. So hope that helps you a little bit. These are not, they're, like I said, they're inexpensive. You don't have to buy the super expensive name brand ones. Just buy the affordable Amazon ones. They're the same. I'll never see the difference. But really cool tools. Yeah, just welcome to the channel if you're new. Like, subscribe. We're doing giveaways. There's a giveaway coming up about with a wood mallet that we're giving away because appreciation of hitting 500 subscribers. I think we're 550 now, maybe some change. Hopefully, maybe some of you subscribed. But yeah, we're going to be posting some more videos today. A few more. I'll do a couple before I go. And then we'll do some shorts, and we might do another video or a live stream tonight. We'll be on tomorrow in the shop working most of the day. We have a delivery that we have to get. That'll be delivered. Bunch of plywood and other things. Awesome. Well, welcome. Appreciate you subscribing. Like I said, if you're subscribed, make yourself public for one, and then go to the shorts on our channel and enter. You gotta make a comment on that subscription. I'm sorry, on that short itself about the hammer giveaway. It's just me standing like over here, holding up the mallet. It says viewer 500, viewer subscribe. Yeah. Thank you very much. But yeah, check that out. Again, you're new, you woodworking, need a new mallet. If you hang on a second, I'll show you the mallet. It's just a hickory mallet, very ergonomic. It's just like I said, an appreciation giveaway. We're going to be doing a lot more giveaways on this channel. We will be giving away some things like the stool, not the stool, but some things like that from small makers in the area. But there you go, just a realistic woodworking, ergonomic hickory mallet, end grain, good for beginner woodworkers and stuff like that. There's not too many people that have entered the giveaway, so if you go to the video on the giveaway and you make a comment, it enters you to win, and then we'll do the drawing. I think this weekend or at the latest Monday. So check it out. It's really cool. You do need a mallet. These things work great. So again, appreciate you showing up. Appreciate you hanging out and chat. Put us on notifications. That way you get notifications in the future when we're on. Like I said, we do make a lot of videos. We have a huge video library, tons of shorts. We have a good time matching the music to the short. That's something we're kind of proud with, and it's like artistic fun. But yeah, definitely check us out. We appreciate y'all in here. We hope you like and subscribed. Thanks for the heart floaty things, y'all. And we'll definitely see you next time. Like I said, we'll probably be live most of the day tomorrow while we're doing stuff. Sometimes we got to take breaks to let the microphones and the phones recharge that we stream on. And if you comment to us and tell us other stuff you want to see, we do read all the comments and try to answer back, or at least like and thumbs up you. If it's just a comment, if it's not something, if it's a question, we usually try to respond. If it's a woodworking question or something like that, we try to give you at least maybe a helping hand, or where to look or where to go, or our opinion. So we'll see y'all tomorrow, and have a good night. And like I said, we might be back just for a brief time tonight, just shooting the BS on in the new area that we've created, that we're starting to do lives. So see you next time.